tackle the news and what's spinning. Jim, you want to kick this one off?
Yeah, sure. Just a couple of quick news items. We're kind of was kind of exciting. King Diamond's released. Well, he's played live 2 new songs on his tour that he's heading out on now, and he's heading to your guys' neck of the woods in a couple of weeks, I think, or maybe early next month, which is really really cool. Electrotherapy and Spider Lily, which there's a couple of fan videos on YouTube you can watch. I think I posted them on my Facebook page, but they're amazing. It's just great to hear new music, and like Electrotherapy's kind of got maybe a more updated updated Puppet Master kind of one of the last few album sounds, and Spider Lily kind of takes me back to maybe even them. So going back, many years. I mean, this is his first. He's got 3 new songs. There's another one that he had pulled out of his hat. So we're hoping that as the tour goes, I don't know. This was a big surprise. I mean, he's not one for kind of letting the cat out of the bag so early, and there's really no timeline yet for his new album. So, but I think it's great to have 2 new songs, and I think that's pretty cool. And the tour, I guess it was just amazing production on the show last night, new stage show, and he's always so elaborate, so that's awesome. And I believe he's touring with Overkill and Night Demon. So
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, you guys have seen Night Demon, what, 2 or 3 times this year?
Yeah, a few times. I got this. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool, though. Some great bands there. And just another quick news item. The other night there, unfortunately, Jakey Lee got shot walking his dog out in Las Vegas, actually. 2 a.m. in the morning, he got shot 3 times, once in the foot, I think in his arm, and somewhere else. He's in intensive care, but I guess he's expected to pull through. So that's some really good news. But wow, kind of shocking. You're walking your dog at 2 a.m. and you end up, taking some lead. Geez, I don't know. But, hopefully we all wish him well and a speedy recovery. So let's hope and pray that he pulls through no problem. What I'm spinning, a couple of cool things that I picked up in the last week or so. This was kind of Billy got me onto these guys. I remember them when I was younger, so I picked up a couple of Aggression CDs. And what's great about it is you never see these for sale. So, and I got them super good price, and they're brand spanking new. Like guy at the local CD album store, music store, gave me a call and said he had them come in. So I picked them up. The Full Treatment, which is absolutely an absolute banger of an album, and Fragmented Spirit Devils. So really, really cool stuff. When you see that, you got to jump on it. I also picked up, I was missing from my Voivod collection, Target Earth. So I got this. It's not a re-release or anything, so it's an original copy, but I really, really like it. And I mean, you just can't get these. Nobody's given them up. And online, they're so super, super expensive. I mean, you're looking at $40 for that. And a newer release that was released this year, heavy metal. I picked up Demon, which I really, really like. Invincible. This is a great album. It's kind of, for those who aren't familiar, it's more like a new wave, a British heavy metal band. More, I guess you could say, even heavy rock. Maybe heavy rock to heavy metal. It doesn't really, it's not every song on it's a big heavy metal song, but more of a traditional sound, but really, really cool. There's some great tracks on this, and I've been just spinning it like crazy. So that's what I've got for this week, guys.
Cool. Nice. Ken, what do you got for us?
Well, so Jim kind of stole my one news item because I was going to talk about Jakey Lee, but
sorry,
that's okay. No, I'll just add on. So there was a couple recent developments. They don't have a suspect. They're still looking for the person that apparently randomly shot him in the middle of the night. So that's kind of weird. I didn't realize he was 67 years old, which is, I didn't think about it. Time flies. Like, wow. And apparently Ozzy just recently commented on it. He was actually quite shocked when they told him the news that he got shot. So it's like, oh, wow. But I guess everyone's talking about that because it's such a weird thing to happen in the middle of the night.
You
So
must live
crazy.
in like a bad part of Vegas, right? Like I imagine, like there's a couple like bad areas
Yeah,
on the outside of the strip that
You know
maybe.
what? But you think he wouldn't, based on the fact that he
he
can't be
lives there.
poor. He's got to be like pretty well off as a musician. But
Yeah, unless he blew it all, who knows?
that's
Yeah.
very true, very true. So the second piece of news I have is Metallica just donated 100,000
Yeah.
support of the damage done at Hurricane Milton. So that's kind of cool that they pitched in. They do have some kind of I forget the name of it, but they do have a kind of a foundation which they use to donate for charities and stuff. Which is kind of, I didn't realize they had that, but they've had this charity since 2017. So it's kind of nice that they give a little bit back. I mean, they can afford to, but the damage there is pretty insane. People losing their homes, and it's nuts, absolutely
Yeah.
nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that even leads to well, like Nasty Savage, right?
Yeah.
Like they're in
yeah,
the middle of their comeback, killer new record. They're on like all the festivals,
Hmm.
and then they're from Florida, as probably everybody knows, one of the OG bands in metal. And yeah, they lost everything, all their equipment, their instruments, the whole work. So yeah, they're doing a GoFundMe to try to get some of that stuff back.
yeah.
Wicked.
That really sucks. That like hits way below the belt for stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and terrible. I mean, it's never a good time, but with
No.
the albums coming out and you got all these like tour dates booked, you have done, they haven't been out and about for what, 20 years or something.
Yeah.
So
Something like that. Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah, yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it's
And you know, and,
strange.
and you know what? Their margins on everything now. Everything is so thin. You can't have a loss of all your equipment and your recording space like that. It's just like, oh, it's devastating. It's just terrible. Bad time. Like you say, there is no good time. I guess it's just it kind of just
No,
fell on. And they got a new album. It's just, oh man.
Metallica
yeah,
should have met their 25K goal.
Yes,
that's true.
It's
Lars,
still hurricane relief.
Lars, if you're watching, come on,
Yeah, I'm
pony
sure
up, pony up.
he
Yes,
must be
sir.
watching.
Please do. Crazy. And so what I'm spinning, I just recently picked this up. I got it through Dave Hewson. He sells all these CDs. This is like a demo CD of Slaughter, and
Wicked.
this is Meat Cleaver. So it's a demo from 1984. And what I like about this is that the cover is done by Eric Rott Eigerman, who's an artist in Chicago. He's a really really cool artist. He's on my Facebook page as one of my friends, but he did this cover, so I thought it was fantastic. I
That's
always
wicked.
like Slaughter. The thing about Slaughter is that they're not really well known as a band. I mean, they only really have the one album, and of course, Dave and Terry Sadler have been living off pretty much the proceeds of that one album all this time. But if you own Slaughter, that album is like kick ass. It's totally kick ass. So like Dave still sells like demo CDs and stuff like that, but I
And
like
not
it.
to be confused with the hair metal.
80s. Yeah.
I know, yeah, I know, yeah. Slaughter Canadian, not Slaughter American.
Yeah.
So true, so true. But that's all I have for this week.
Okay,
Wicked.
cool. I just one item I was reading today in the news. So this is pretty cool, but it's obviously for a limited group, like probably people near California, but or unless you're willing to travel. So the metal supergroup, Metal Allegiance, like you guys
Yes.
know them,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
they're doing they usually do. I think it's every year because I actually saw this show in 2015 at the same place. House of Blues in Anaheim, California. I went to that
Okay.
show in 2015. But so they're doing it January 23rd, 2025. And then the core members are, I mean, the lineup is like knocked the lights out, right? So you got core members are Alex Skolnick, Dave Ellison, Mike Portnoy, and then Mark Mengi on bass. And so this time doing vocals, and often two or three of these guys show up. So you got Chuck Billy, you got Bobby Blitz, you got the current Mark, the from the hat you're wearing from Accept is going to be there. On Bush. And then on guitar, you got Gary Holt and Marty Friedman, Andreas Kisser from Sepultura, Jeff Loomis from like Nevermore, and just a load of guests. So yeah, again, it's a bit not it's a bit out of the way, but if you could see that, I highly recommend folks go see it. It's a blast. Like it's all like jam session type of feel, so lots of fun.
Yeah,
cool,
great lineup.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. In terms of what's spinning, so in the spirit of today's topic, I was digging my Socialized Hate album, and then I found this. I forgot about it. I pulled it out. It kind of looks like the album cover you showed a bit, all white with the black. The Slaughter artwork, but so this is Atrophy, their first demo, and so this is a reissue from a couple years ago. It's pretty cool because so this is the Chemical Dependency demo from 1987. But what makes it cool, I don't know if you guys can see that or if people can see that, but they added like 4 live tracks. Filmed in mine and Ken's hood here in Toronto. So they're lifted from a show January 30th, 1989.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool to have a little piece of home. They did Killing Machine, Rest in Pieces, Product of the Past, and Beer Bong. They pulled from a Toronto show. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then kind of similar to Jim, I was strolling through a local record shop and German thrash metal. So the band Traitor.
Good one. Yeah,
Cool, that's good. Crazy but cool artwork.
Love it.
But yeah, I've always struggled finding their stuff here in Canada, even when I lived in the US. Like I think it's probably released out of Germany and then you got to import it in. But this local record shop had 3 of their albums.
Wow.
So I was shocked, right? So they had this, they had Knee Deep in the Dead and the Exile to the Surface. So I grabbed those 3 right away. All for an excellent price. So,
what shop, Billy, was that?
Oh, that was the one I told you about, Ken. I
forget. Oh, yes, yeah.
What was that? It was actually a bookstore that carried like
Pandemonium.
Pandemonium in the Park area or north of High Park.
Yeah, I've been there before in the past, but I haven't been there recently, so I don't know what's going on there. But it's cool you went there.
Yeah, no. I don't know why it just reminded me of this, but speaking of like record stores, I don't know if you guys saw that. I guess this is technically a news item, but Brave Words, the online website, of course, the big Canadian site, they announced they're doing this thing about metal record stores. So
cool.
They build this whole directory of where you could buy metal in physical shops across the world. And so you can go on the website if you're visiting somewhere, look it up, and you can find all presumably if people give them like where the stores are, but that'd be a fantastic tool, right? It's the first thing to do when I go to every new city is look for the record stores.
Yeah, there used to be a website for comic books. You could type in any city and it would give you a comic book store or whatever in the United States and Canada. So it's kind of cool to do that for like music stores as well.
Yeah, no, very handy for those like us who spend way too much money on physical products.